Hey guys, it's Troy and I'm back with another pen mail video. And one of the cool things is going on vacation and then coming home and finding all the mail that you got waiting for you. And it's pretty cool when you come home and you find pen mail. This particular one was waiting for me. I had ordered this a little while back and was able to find it when my wife and I went away for about 4 days at the beach together and celebrating our anniversary. So we come home and Sunday evening, this was waiting for me. So, Pelikan. Obviously, it's not a new Pelikan. Kind of a beat-up box, it looks like. But this was new old stock, apparently. And that's how it was sold, and it certainly looked that way in dealing with the pen itself. So, it says P580. But what it does not tell you is what line of Pelikan. So, the P580 with a medium nib in green. In this case it is emerald green, and this particular pen, I'll show you here in a little bit. You open up the box, pull out of that sleeve, and yeah, that box is kind of beat up, but this one here, not so much. So this is what you get. This is what it looks like. Registered trademark of Pelikan, Germany. Open it up. And you've got this right here. It is a cartridge converter pen, which is not very usual for most Pelikans nowadays. But then again, this is not a pen that Pelikan has currently in production. You can see that beautiful emerald green with gold trim. And this particular pen was in production between 1997 and 2005, and it has a 14-karat gold nib. Now, I could show you the catalog and everything, but it's all in German, so for those of you who are English-speaking, you probably won't get much out of it. It did come with a single cartridge. It being an older cartridge, actually, it was mostly evaporated, and it did come with a converter. Now, here is the interesting thing. This is a Waterman converter. This is not the standard international that my chart says should be in Pelikan products, but hey, it came with a Waterman converter. It also came with a Waterman cartridge, and I tried different cartridges and converters just to see what would work, because I looked at it and said, Waterman, really? And it didn't fit quite as tightly as I thought it should, so I said, well, maybe someone just threw that in there, but nope. Waterman is the only converter brand or cartridge brand that would fit this particular pen. So you pull this off, and you've got the P580 tag on there, medium nib, Pelikan. That's how it came when I got it. So it's a beautiful looking emerald green. I mean, I like this color a lot. And you look, you may be able to see it. It says Pelikan. And on the back it says Celebry, C-E-L-E-B-R-Y. So that is the line. So P580 though is a model within several different lines of Pelikan cartridge converter pens. This was not the only line of cartridge converter pens, nor was it the only P580, but within the Celebry line, then I was able to do a little bit of research on this particular pen and find out its production. I have not been able to find much else, though, for information on it other than that. So I'm going to keep digging to see what I can come up with. But look at that. That's a beautiful looking emerald green. And it's a little different. So you've got here, you've got the Pelikan logo on the finial there. You've got the typical Pelikan beak-looking clip. Then it comes down to a slip top. So if you look there, you've got that section right there. So all that gold right here is not part of the cap. And you got all this beautiful green lacquered metal, and then almost like a little button at the bottom. And at the bottom, that's what you've got. So let's slip the cap off and show you what it looks like. So you've got a long section here, a nice long section after you've got that that gold tone and a little step down. Then you've got this section here which is all smooth, and then you've got almost like a collar that goes around where the nib goes in, and it is a 14 karat gold nib with a Pelikan logo on it. You pull it apart by unscrewing, and you can see what I did was I put a cartridge in there. What I did though is I flushed the cartridge that was in there completely out, and I put fresh ink into it. You could probably see that sloshing around in there. And what I chose to put in there was just a blue ink. I didn't match the ink to it, and it is Thornton's Luxuries blue ink, which was one that I've used several times. I've used Thornton's products and their ink numerous times. I did not put the converter in it this time just because I didn't feel like it, because I happen to have that cartridge and several other cartridges laying around, and I've got several pens that I might be wanting to put a converter in. But anyway, just for first time around, I figured let's go ahead and get it. So let's go ahead and post it. Posting it does not throw off that balance too bad at all. You can definitely feel a little bit of heft to it, as I would expect for something from the 90s or so, late 90s maybe into 2000, and from Pelikan you would expect something quality, and you've got a little bit of heft. So when you pull off that cap, it still fits comfortably in the hand. It does not feel out of balance whatsoever this way, and just really not so much that way. You can still feel the cap on the back, but it doesn't really throw off the balance all that bad. So here we go with a Pelikan Celebry P580 with a medium 14 karat nib. Now I will tell you, this nib is somewhat flexible. You can get some good line variation out of it. You may be able to see some of the flex that comes with it. And it writes very smooth, as you would expect coming from Pelikan. I expect quality. If you're going to attach the name Pelikan to it, even though this is not one of their top end pens, I expect something decent, something quality. So I have no idea what their actual retail value was during the time period where this is released. I would actually have to go digging through the German catalog to see if it even had prices listed. But I do have access to PDF files with that information. I can tell you right now, going price on these, if you can find them in premium condition, is somewhere close to about $100. So if you can find one in that price range, then you know you're probably not getting gouged, because it is still quality. Tell my cat's been in here on my desk. But it's decent quality. It really is. So you got that, the nice plastic comb feed, and a nice smooth writing nib that looks to be about a number 5 size nib or so. But I can't complain with this at all. This was a nice little investment. It is bizarre. A Waterman nib, I mean a Waterman converter. So was it manufactured for Pelikan by Waterman? I don't know. I haven't been able to find anything on it yet. I've looked several times and I haven't found any data on it quite yet. So let's say during the 90s to early 2000, is it possible? Well, it is, I guess. I mean, this is more of a slender pen, and Waterman had a whole lot of slender looking pens like this. Did they have a joint venture? I don't know. But it is bizarre that you would have only a Waterman converter or cartridge that was available for this particular pen. But the Celebry, it's something I had never really heard of, and quite honestly, I didn't even know what model it was, that it was in the Celebry line, until I got the pen. And I actually looked at it and I said, oh, okay. So whatever research I had previously done on it wasn't quite exactly accurate, because you can look up Pelikan P580 and you can find a whole bunch of pens that were in a particular line until you start looking at this. But anyway, the Pelikan Celebry P580 in a gorgeous emerald green, very smooth writing pen, cartridge converter style, and it has now been added to my collection.